My name is Mike Eichholz. I'm a professor in the School of Biological Sciences and an avian ecologist in the Cooperative Wildlife Research Lab here at SIU. I got my bachelor's here at SIU and my master's and PhD at the University of Alaska Fairbanks. When I first started at SIU, my primary questions were on how management actions influence the reproductive success for waterfowl, primarily ducks. I realized while I was conducting research on those ducks that there were a lot of other non-waterfowl birds using that habitat also, and recognized that by limiting my research to ducks, I was really limiting my ability to better understand how life history characteristics might be influenced by those management actions. So at that point, I started studying the entire avian community. I also noticed during that time that the management actions didn't always influence the birds directly, but influenced them indirectly through some type of mediary, such as the predators or the prey species. To monitor the birds, we monitor both the abundance and the reproductive success of the birds in the grasslands. We monitor abundance by doing point counts at each of the grassland sites and monitor reproductive success by rope dragging to identify and locate the nests and then monitor the fate of those nests. To monitor snake abundance, we set out cover boards in the prairies, and then when we flip up the cover boards, if there's snakes under them, we can catch those snakes by hand and clip their ventral scales to then allow us to identify individual snakes and use mark recapture techniques then to estimate abundance in the grasslands. In the U.S., we've lost about 70% of our grasslands and about 50% of our wetlands. In Illinois, it's even worse, where we've lost about 99% of our grasslands and 85% of our wetlands. So we've lost a lot of the habitat that's really important to maintain the wildlife that are dependent on those areas. So what we're trying to do is figure out how we can manage that habitat so we more effectively and efficiently support the wildlife that are using the remaining resources. Our research is primarily addressing very specific applied questions. But I also recognize that it's important for the students to understand the ecological concepts that are really driving those management questions. We meet once a week during our lab to discuss research papers that are often associated with these ecological concepts. I also realize it's really important that they understand how to conduct science rigorously and understand the science behind the management actions and natural resource management. So did that one have a nest on it, or was it just...
I don't think he's nesting just yet. He was a few hundred yards away yesterday. If he stays in this spot for a few more days, I'll keep an eye on him, and if that seems to be the case, I'll flush him and look for a nest.
Okay. Most of our projects require a substantial amount of field work and lab work. For the lab work, it's primarily landscape analysis. I recognize an important aspect of education is the learning that students are able to acquire from just talking with their colleagues and working with their colleagues. So one of the things that we really try to do in our lab is to promote both professional and social interactions among students. If you have a strong interest in studying avian communities and the habitat management that influences those communities, we're always looking for new graduate and undergraduate students. So please feel free to contact me at the link below.